All right, it is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025, just about around 1 p.m. It's been a long time since I've actually used FSD with Stygian 2.0. We got Tint, right? And so we're kind of being very cautious with what we decide to put our cameras, right? I got a camera on the roof with the drive angle. I'm hesitant to put anything on the front windshield just yet, like a suction cup where a GoPro mount would be, just to make sure the tint is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. With the windows, I'm pretty sure everything's fine. Everything should be good. We're gonna give it a few more days for the front windshield. I kind of want to see what it looks like video record wise. Part of me wanted to go darker with the front windshield tint, you know, but in the great state of Texas, you're not supposed to have any tint on the front windshield, period. Well, you know, we live life a little rebelliously, you know. One of your boy's favorite movies is, you know, Star Wars: A New Hope. You know, rebellions are built on hope. So I hope none of the authorities that may see Stygian 2.0 passing their way feel like the juice isn't worth the squeeze and asking me whether or not there's tint on my front windshield. So, you know, we roll the dice, we do what we can. Should a rock, say, hit our windshield or the windshield gets damaged for any reason, we definitely won't go that route again. It is going to be fairly noticeable when it comes to the temperature. That's the only reason why I would recommend it. But you can always get a clear coat to make sure, you know, you block the UV. And that's, you know, I didn't put anything on the roof here, and blocking the UV from the top probably would make the most sense, right? But I didn't really want to touch the glass up top or in the back with the, you know, looking out the back. So who knows? We'll see what happens. As far as Tesla goes, all right, we're in Stygian 2.0, a 2025 Model 3, and we're using FSD. Everything's wonderful. I got my co-pilot with me, which is very rare. Chewbacca. Chewbacca's here with me. We're gonna go grab a little bit of lunch, scope out a place. What's it called? Oh my God. We are definitely not going there. This thing had us going to Yosh. But anyway, take me to the Pearl and Vine. All right, let's see how this turns out. Make sure we're doing everything by the law. When we change the destination mid-stroke, it's always a question of whether or not the vehicle is going to do something right. But luckily, we're going exactly where we need to be going. We're going to scope out a place called the Pearl and Vine, and you know, maybe grab a spot of lunch, see if that's somewhere we want to take Yosh. I'm bringing Chewbacca. They say they got a patio area. It's a beautiful day here in Southeast Texas. Maybe have a drink and get something to go. I don't plan to stay. But yeah, I think we just want to put some miles on the car. Hasn't been driven with any significant purpose probably for about 5 days or so. We've been letting the tent sit, right? So I can afford to do that a little bit. Anyway, we're out here kind of anxious. I'm part of the full self-driving database created by Homar's blog. I just turned on the telemetry. I figured I would, you know, use FSD, test it, and see if all that stuff is, you know, if the data's being tracked. So anyway, we got a beautiful Cybertruck over here in this lot. I love seeing Teslas. It's like one of my favorite pastimes when I am out and about, seeing like the brand new Model Y is beautiful. Looking at Cybertrucks, considering the Cybertruck Model S and X kind of dismal performance when it comes to the delivery numbers. But it is what it is. These cars aren't cheap. They're very much luxury cars. Whenever I'm in the X, it reminds me how wonderful those luxury products actually are. And, you know, people in this economic time, I don't blame them for not wanting to have a $1,500, $2,000 monthly car note in some cases, right? So we'll just bide our time. I'm glad they're not discontinuing the Model S and X, and the Cybertruck will have its day. Mark my words, the Cybertruck will indeed have its day. Ain't that right, Chewbacca? Yes, sir. The stock doing pretty good on, I would say, better than expected delivery numbers. I think the street had them somewhere around 387. They fell in line at about 384. But most analysts that covered Tesla pretty closely had us in that 360 range. 360 cars delivered. We knocked that, you know, I wouldn't say out of the park, but we definitely did better than expected. So I think the stock is reflecting that a little bit. Not to mention the energy storage. I think we got some here. I think he likes it. I'm trying to do the commercial. Mikey, I think he likes it. Anyway, that was a poor attempt at something from yesteryear. Anyway, Tesla is more than just a car company. And not to mention they've had some record-breaking situations going on earlier this week, or last week rather. Chewbacca, I need you to chill, my boy. What is going on? You are anxious. You need to chill out. But let's not forget that Tesla indeed launched a robotaxi service last week. They delivered a vehicle to a consumer all willy-nilly across Austin from the factory. Like, no big deal. Here you go, my guy. And yeah, that is... you need to take that for what you will. Me personally, that is a remarkable feat, and it's only going to get better from here, ladies and gentlemen. As we are not getting on Highway 99, we're going to stay down here, and I don't even know how far we are. We're 10 minutes away from the Pearl and Vine. I hope I'm, you know, hope everything's good. I'll walk up in there with Chewbacca, not inside, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I'll always just go maybe to Scholars and Scoundrels, have a shot and a beer and grab something to go. But we're gonna check out this Pearl and Vine and see what it does. Let's see. What else can we talk about? There's, you know, a lot of people exiting the stock. You know, long time bulls turning bearish. We've got long time bears turning bullish. But all said and done, Tesla is a company that is transforming transportation as we know it. Austin invites for the robo-taxi have extended to people that are not influencers, and I consider myself a baby influencer, right? I'm monetized on YouTube. I've got over 1,000 followers on X. Not monetized on X just yet. And honestly, that feels like that's going to be a feat. That's not in my car, is it? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There was a sound, I think, coming from a vehicle that made it feel like it was very much so in my car, unless somebody's pranking me. Anyway, but yeah, we are experiencing something pretty nice when it comes to what they've got going on in Austin. So I would love an invite. I would be in Austin probably more than I should. I actually applied to be one of the operators for the vehicle, you know, the guy that just sits there. I don't know how long they plan to keep that guy, but I would love that job, and they would just pay me in Tesla stock as soon as all that was said and done. I'd sit in a car that's driverless. I would do that 8-10 hours a day, and you know, probably for much less money than what they would pay people, and I would convert all of that to Tesla stock. But you know, I applied, still no response. For some reason Tesla does not want to hire your boy, and that's fair. I'm not just saying there aren't other more qualified applicants that could be imposing and sitting in the passenger seat of a driverless vehicle. But yeah, it feels like that would be something I could do easily, and I know they don't want to talk to the customers, so maybe that isn't the best job for me, because that would be hard not to talk to them. So yeah, but push come to shove, I know how to button my lip when need to. I can do it. Yeah, that's very exciting. Whether there's a Tesla employee in the car or not, this is still remarkable what the software can and can't do. We're experiencing it. 13.2.9, we got an update just last night. It was to fix minor issues, but I've been a high proponent that we may not be getting FSD updates per se, but it feels like our AI student driver is improving over time. Now, it doesn't make sense, right? It should be the software is the software is the software, but I think it is, or maybe they're just some subtle variables that changes its behavior, but the car feels smoother than it did 2 months ago, right? It feels more competent, like it is making executive decisions that are, I wouldn't say assertive, but you know, just a little bit like I got this type driving. It's like I got this. I don't know how to explain it, but I know I can't give it back. They could probably charge me anything if I didn't play up front for it. You know, they could have probably charged me anything. But any car that I buy from Tesla, whether it be the Robotaxi, these new, cheaper, more affordable models, the Cybertruck, FSD's gotta work on it. And I'm talking about, I want it to work. The Model Y seems to probably be what people are going to be focused on, considering it is the one that is driving autonomously with nobody in the driver's seat. So maybe I should have gotten that one if FSD was the most important to me, but I feel the Model 3 will be in the same category. And over time, I want to say FSD works the best on the Model 3. You know, that's speculation. I've had a Y, I had an X, I've had a 3, haven't had a Cybertruck, haven't had an S. But from my experience and just watching random videos on YouTube, I guess I watch a lot of Holmar's blog, so I may be biased with the Model 3. It might have actually influenced my purchase decision not to wait for the brand new Model Y. The Model 3, I think, is got a special place in my heart, so maybe I am a little biased on whether or not the Model 3 is the best vehicle for FSD. We're approximately a minute away from the Pearl and Vine. Never been here before, so it's nice to have FSD do the driving, right? Not missing exits. We got on the highway. We're navigating as best we can from highway to city streets. It's going to hopefully put me right where I need to be. And in future iterations of the software, I'll be able to be like, yeah, you can go ahead and park this thing in any parking spots you want, right? And even then, you'll probably be able to break it down to which parking spots, handicap spot, parking spots, closest to the door parking spots, or, you know, little things, right? We got some construction, so my spidey sense is up in this area. Let's see how we do. Never been here before, and FSD is probably navigating this construction area better than I possibly could. Right. I see Pearl, I see Vine. I don't see a lot of customers, but this was a Grok recommendation. Checking it out, see if it's serviceable for Yoshchan. All right, we're here. Let's see what happens, how we conduct these last 100 feet. Hell, this place barely looks, is it open? I hope it's open. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Grok gave me some bad information. Surprise, surprise. This place opens up at 4, and quite frankly, it looks a little fancy. So maybe we found a potential date night on accident via Grok. But we're looking for some lunch right now. Maybe grab a little drink while we wait for our food to be cooked. And so we're gonna go to our local watering hole, Scholars and Scoundrels. Shouldn't be too far away. We're kind of like in the area anyway. Beautiful Model X. Looked like a pre-2021 Model X. You know, that silver trim sticks out. It's kind of potent, you know what I mean? But yeah, so Pearl and Vine will definitely use that as a date night. I don't know, maybe not this week. We're gonna go to a place called Truth Barbecue here in Houston for 4th of July. Whether we dine there or eat back at the crib is something I'll leave up to Yoshchan. Chewbacca hates fireworks, and by hate I mean it's like even gunpowder. Like he kind of senses it, and he's not a fan. I don't blame him. Guns are dangerous, ain't that right, boy? Guns and fireworks are dangerous. So we're gonna probably try to keep it chill and, you know, ease as much tension off of Chewbacca's shoulders as possible when it comes to the fireworks displays and things of that nature. So we'll go to Scholars and Scoundrels for now. We'll go Truth Barbecue Friday. And maybe sometime next week, you know, we'll treat Yosh to a date night. Monday, maybe we'll see what Monday looks like. Might do some celebrating on Monday. Yeah, why not? Why not? You only live once, ladies and gentlemen, and if that's anything that I can pass on to you besides watching these videos of my car driving itself, is life comes at you fast. You want to enjoy as much of it as you possibly can while you can, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know when some kind of altering traumatic event is gonna take place that's going to rob you of your now, you know. So take advantage of it. Don't let anything rob you of your now. And I see another Cybertruck in the Outdoor World parking lot here. We wait our turn for this incredibly complex, you know, always stop. Our vehicle is smooth. Like, there's cars coming at us as we're making that left turn. Kind of felt like an unprotected left because they were anxious to proceed. And our car still handles it with incredible precision, safety. I don't know. There's no other vehicle that I would want to entrust my family's livelihood with, right? Like, the amount of trust that you have to give up control, that's no small feat to people that consider themselves good drivers. Luckily for you all, I'm a terrible driver, and I know FSD is a better driver than me. Some of you, if you're being honest with yourselves, you probably come to that same conclusion. You know, even Yosh-chan, who probably used it about 5%, you know, less than 6 months ago, she wasn't using FSD. But then we made that trip to Austin, and it did the entire drive from driveway to the hotel parking lot on FSD, and a light bulb went off. She saw that I wasn't angry while driving. I wasn't worried. I wasn't, you know, I was the most relaxed I'd ever been on a road trip. So a light bulb undoubtedly went off in her head, and she's like, well, maybe I can boop boop, and that's the sound it makes, boop boop. And just by checking the Tesla insurance, I see that she's now using it more. 5% went to 9%. 9% went to 17%. 17% went to 30%. She is using this software more and more in the past few months, and it brings me such joy. I can't explain it. It brings me so much joy. So, you know, we're about to go to Scholars and Scoundrels. We're going to sit out here on this patio. It's a beautiful day. We're going to order some food, bring it back, maybe watch some old episodes of The Mandalorian. This right here might be considered illegal. I mean, that's a double yellow line that we're crossing. You know, report bug. It might be a small bug. Oh, we're going to try to park right now. Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got here. What are we doing? Are we just going to park it? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, back up. I love what I'm saying here. But I guess, you know, we still got some work to do. We're going to turn around. We made a parking attempt. And then we were like, nah, we don't like that spot. We're just going to drop you off at the front door. All right. And this is where the FSD turns off. So that's kind of cool.